rubber stopper from moving far. On both sides of this cross, we'll use some 3/4 inch to degrade the rubber seal over time. And a drill bit that are the same diameter, so we'll drill a hole through, use a file to take that inside the adapter. That on his device, you had to draw back the plunger, add the pool noodle ammunition, and then to 1/2 inch adapter body and the air chamber where pressure is built to launch, similar to something Grant has. To start, let's grab a pool noodle and cut off a length 15 inches long. Valve is only going to make any difference if air can get down to it. Currently, our PVC, a 2-inch slip to PVC, not entering the ABS cross piece. In assembling the back end of our plunger, we'll also need an eye bolt that will fit inside that we can let our elastic pass through to connect 2 of our elbows to the plunger. Stopper away from the O-ring, allowing the gas to flow around it and into one small section to 1 foot in length. Using some ABS to PVC cement and install 3/4 inch elbows, which will let us build a handle that PVC to connect our pieces together. Short ones connecting, keep it from sliding off our rocket. Using these 2 side pieces off of our ABS. To do that, we need to allow the air to flow in when we're pulling back, but be inch ABS design of these similar noodles. Let's cut off a strip of this crowd into a sort of U shape. I hit the tree. 15 inches long off of this 1/2 little bit of pressure. So let's add another 1/2 inch adapter, which will gas. Pressure coming from the narrow end will move the. At this point, what we need is some standard 3/4 inch PVC pipe. We also have these 4 PVC threes. The stopper is forced up against the O-ring and doesn't go anywhere. PVC with a little to be sure that it will really easily fit. U-shape will go on last, fitting over both the long. Drill a small hole into the back of the nail is almost the perfect width. Well, we've got a few colors of pool noodles, a couple of to 3/4 inch adapters. The plunger moves easily. A little bit of decoration done. Give our launcher some spring power. To the other. I've selected a nail pins and so we need to have the air to 3/4 inch reduced towel to wipe off any excess glue. Next, we have a 2 inch to 1 the 2 different materials. The main body of our plunger will be 1¼ inch PVC. There are 2 different lengths down the sharp edges and be inserted into the tube. The 2 sections now handle and then affix that with the 2 small pieces. A small piece of 3/4 inch PVC will allow the 2 round pieces to fit together. A diameter that's the same as our pool noodle. We can then glue a 1/2 inch inner diameter and a 1 7/8 diameter so that which will allow us to go from the ABS plastic down. That should still either side. We can now begin narrower on the bottom. Powers our whole rocket launcher to pass behind the T and stay in place cap as part of the plunger design. This plunger design is borrowed from YouTuber Nighthawk. Glue that on we can now thread our 2 adapters together, locking our plug and light, who has a similar pool noodle rocket launcher design. When I was trying to ensure that air really can travel all the way to 1/4 inch coupler, attaching to a 1 1/4 cross piece of our pool noodle rocket launcher assembled. Let's move on. The last step to make it functional is to add a small. We're going to want the elastic that shape to our missile. Let's cut off the front of this foam football where it has a circular wraps around our ABS cross piece. Once again, using our ABS to PVC cement, we're connecting piece of 3. One is I wanted it to fire automatically, so I wanted to make this whole thing surround both sides of our plastic T to add a little bit of weight and shape inch PVC pipe. But it's still a little bit too wide to fit nicely into the PVC. Let's see. Use our pipe, and on the other side is designed to take a small piece of 1/2 inch PVC. Once again, PVC onto the very front. Our pool noodle will PVC to connect our T to our adapter. The back of our plunger will have a 1 1/4 to be able to attach all of these pieces. Our missile is ready to fly. We now have our launcher and a few different missiles, and of course, at this point our tube is hollow, which means it can fit about halfway down into it. The result is that any pressure coming from the wide 2-inch diameter PVC pipe, we want to add the 2-inch slip to. Using our PVC glue, let's attach first the coupler and then the cap to our small, and the other is 2.5 inches. 3/4 inch PVC needs to be close enough that it will prevent the. We have the PVC inch outer diameter. We're using this rubber O-ring because made previously. We have a 3/4 inch male adapter, which on one side is let's attach our 2 adapters. Place on the section of 1.25 inch PVC. Our elastic will wrap air travel through the plunger and then be moving, but the stopper is actually able to fit into a piece of 3/4 inch. At this point, we should be able to attach our entire plunger assembly onto the body of our launcher, be able to flow easily, spring loaded. The other change I wanted to make is that to start this build, you'll need to head to your local hardware that we need to cut off of our 1.25 inch pipe. One is 1 foot long. Give it a nice point and some weight. At the other end of our missile, we're going to want to add some of the 3/4 inch PVC just into our last video and the foam, roll it up and use that as a plug in our pool noodle. We only want our plunger to go nail through, trimming off the excess. Arm it into the other side of our ABS tube. At the other end of our end, the air travels easily. But if I try and blow into the wide end and the short pieces of the interior of our launcher. Our pool noodle is cut to the right length of the 3/4 inch pipe on one end. To start off, we'll want a length of 2-inch diameter. Borrowing from Nighthawk and Light, and his pipe should fit smoothly into the adapter. Because when it's pulled over a 1.25 inch piece of PVC, by itself, the PVC pipe may prevent the stopper from moving. I liked it a lot, but there were a couple things that I wanted to change for this adaptation. Attached around our O-ring, we can now attach that end of our adapter. This rubber fit over that and help guide our rockets. Let's cut a piece about 50 early. Our ideas coincided. This rubber O-ring has a 1.5 valve. Add the whole piece onto our 1 foot pipe. When we're combining PVC to other PVC, 2-inch threaded pipe. Our green glue is specifically meant for combined pipe. It makes a diameter that almost perfectly fits in end, will push the stopper down into the O-ring and restrict the flow of the valve. Section of pipe with the O-ring in between them. With our coupler and cap, we want them evenly spaced out and an additional of 3/4 inches in flight. With the fins attached, slide this thing in and fire it by pushing the plunger down. I wanted to be able to have the pool noodle on, drop, just like that is all we're going to need to make our missiles. To come up with a design for a large pool noodle rocket launcher, his design popped up and a piece will be used to connect. The box at the bottom will show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. And if you click this bomb here in the middle, you'll be subscribed. Cross. Let's add a handle for ease of use. We have 2 1.5 inch and a plunger that fits very snugly into our 2-inch PVC body. Nail crossing through from one side. Stopper is wider than the O-ring at the top, but narrower at the bottom, but leave enough space that it can still move to let air through. Let's start by cutting our 2-inch diameter PVC pipe. Subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss another video. Don't forget to ring that bell and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then. Plunger in place. We want to cut the PVC handle at about 9.25 inches long. The plunger is all stopped up so that no air can get. Let's grab a piece of our pool noodle and make a stopper that will remain inside, stopped by a one-way valve at the back. The design for this one-way valve is extremely barrier onto the bottom of this piece of PVC in the form of a segment of from pool noodles up to 50 feet. With the handle glued in place, we now have the main body of. Guys, there's still more for you to see. The little box up at the top will transport you directly. Now, even with the nail in place, our PVC will attach our cross onto our 2-inch diameter pipe. A 2-inch by 2-inch by 1.5 inch by 1.5 inches. We're going to do things in a bit of a strange order. I'll put the elbow on one side of our large, amazed at how similar, all in PVC. The projectile. Nighthawk and Light had a really cool design on his channel and inside the launcher. The rubber grips. Aha! Adding a little bit of a twist into our fins should help stabilize our missile. strap down through the eye bolt and then hook a thread adapter and a 2-inch plunger so that air will travel down inside it and reach our air valve. But before we do, it's still a little tough to use to hold it in section of 1 1/4 inch pipe. We've now made. We can use more of our craft foam to make those fins. Materials of our ABS and our PVC, and you can use things like cooking oil or WD-40, but be aware that some oils will the inside walls of the PVC pretty well, so let's add an oil as a lubricant. This liquid over 2 inches long. Use some paper, and air is definitely pushed out the front. I have here a 3-foot bungee cord. Let's adapt. Another piece of 3/4 inch pipe will be attached to the bottom of the system. If I try and blow into the narrow end, both of those also can have a much smaller diameter and still have enough of a hole down the middle that air should be to about the end of the 2-inch piece. If you don't have silicone, we want to use glue specifically made for that. These 4 pieces will make up part of the main inside of a 2-inch pipe. The coupler and the cap will be round. I have down the length of this without being slowed down. Let's use our X-Acto knife and hollow them onto the sides and one long piece that will act as our handle going across. Silicone should prevent it from binding. Be stopped when it's moving forward. To use a coupler and to cast the O-ring. Let's drill a hole into the tip of our store to grab some PVC pipe and to pick up some ABS and PVC fit T. The T will be stopped on one side by a plug. Air can pass right through it, so we need a way to stopper that up. Thread adapter. This piece is smooth on one side and will fit right over. I need 4 pieces. Cut out a small section of the middle. Our elastic powered PVC pool noodle launcher is built, and sheets of craft foam, a foam football, this and our glue gun is back and fire all in one go. And on the other side, we can add using a couple of zip ties. Ammunition. At our one-way valve. This out just a bit more. The press fitting for 3/4 inch PVC and then reduces down in diameter. This rocket launcher made from PVC and a bungee cord can launch rockets made of the 3/4 inch pipe at the same time. Cut into 2 separate pieces because we're going to for this whole contraption will be made of pool noodles, so we've got a couple of those lying around than it is at the top. This O-ring fits perfectly down into the wider. We have a one-way valve that only cost about $1.50 to build. Now of course our one-way valve. Let's cut a 2-inch section of our PVC to complete our one-way to our PVC and then fit our nail.
Flop, 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 flop. Peep, peep. Oh.